I got a black cat bone. I got a Mojo too. I got the John the Conqueror. I'm gonna.
Blessings, everyone. Welcome back to Kyle's Cavern. Hope everyone's having a awesome new year. This is the first video for Kyle's Cavern for 2023. So welcome back, and welcome to all the new subscribers. I do see you guys, so welcome to. Today's video is going to be a little more interesting. Today we're not talking about crystals. Today we are talking about voodoo dolls or fetish dolls. This is something that is widely used around a lot of cultures and still used today. Times from ancient Egypt, there are mummies and pharaohs buried with different dolls that you would consider fetishes, and like so many cultures used dolls to enchant or to use as a conduit between themselves. Yeah, so before we get too deep into this video, I want to talk about animism. So in a lot of different cultures, animism is the belief in there are spirits within the trees, there are spirits within the waters, there are spirits within the earth, there are spirits within the air, there's spirits within the elements. The things that we can see and touch are vibrating at a certain frequency, but of course, if you were to move something really fast, like move out of our time space continuum just super duper fast, it will vanish. So because it's vibrating literally at a different frequency, activate that relationship and keep that high vibration by feeding your doll, by adding the oil, the perfume, sometimes a little liquor, house a spirit almost. So when we talk about fetishes now, there are a couple things that people have to consider, that it's not what we see on all the movies where they take the needles and you go into possession and all that weird stuff. So the doll is supposed to be a surrogate between you, spirit, and whatever. It's supposed to be a tool to heal yourself, basically. Whatever ailments that you may be having with yourself, you can heal through the doll. And that's where the needles come in play. The needles are used when you pull out, as you get better or as you heal, then you pull out the needle. Or if you want to have things attached to your doll, then you will put needles to secure certain things to your doll. Hoodoo is a lot more of the candles, oils, your tools, basically. But voodoo is the actual practice religion where it worship the Orisha. That is what voodoo is, and it's a lot more religious based. But hoodoo is a lot more of the I call it like the cupboard, witch type of like what I can find in my kitchen type energy. But it's just basically your tools. Your voodoo doll is supposed to be made up of a lot of different woods, or a wood that is sacred to you. There are a lot of healing woods out there. So even woods like birch is white birch is really great for relieving headaches and using spiritual baths, and other woods as well. In the Wiccan spiritual community, we go to a different specific wood to make a wand. You can use a specific wood to make your fetishes. But you can take a spiritual bath, and all those herbs and all those minerals and components that you had in that spiritual bath that you've taken, which is why spiritual bath cleansing is very important, to just to get off all the energy and just to start fresh, but just to kind of clear your auric field as well. But you can also use those same herbs that you use in your bath on your fetish doll. Anything that's personal to you, you attach to your doll, and it goes on with a purpose, it goes on with a meaning. You could put some jewelry on your doll to attract, jewelry is something, shiny. Come look at me. It's attracting. And then you can put, white lace. Right now, this is one of two dolls that I have, but this is one fetish doll. But you can put certain things around it. I have here like a little evil eye, beaded thing that I made that I put around its neck. So it's just like certain little things and these beads came from a piece of jewelry that I had. Anything that's personal that probably had a lot of you on there, carried with you, some personal, you can put your ID attached to your doll. There is a lot of confusion as to if people can see your voodoo doll or should they be able to see your doll. Um, it doesn't really matter. It's up to the practitioner. There are certain things, of course, not everything is going to be open for other people's viewing. It's up to you when it comes to the voodoo doll. If you want to have it out in plain sight, it's best to, just because you can build a connection with it, even if you don't, which I would do consider to get into the habit of doing, even if you don't work with it really much hands-on. Just by you looking at your voodoo doll in your house, your mind's eye will pick up on how much energy and the power that you put into what you're creating, and how you're connecting with the spirit that's between you and this doll. So it's more of a connection like that if you don't work with it that way. But when you do feed, you do have to feed the doll at least. So I will at least say perfume, if you have any, to feed the doll. With Florida water, you can cleanse the doll with sage, Palo Santo. You can cleanse the doll with, or feed the doll. You can put food attachments, but just be mindful. Some things animals could get to, and it could be a little bit like a little bit of be a little bit of a fight between you and your pet if they get a hold of your like your voodoo doll or your chicken foot. Yeah, everything is very much edible, but some things are not. So just be mindful of that. If you have anything of the mandrake, anything of that family, just be, or any other poisonous plant, just be mindful. Really out here when you're working with your. You definitely have putting perfume on your doll, putting oils on your doll, essential oils on your doll. You can add more to it, and I can consider feeding it as well. Basically, it's a walking surrogate conduit of you. People don't know about energy and frequency. Everything is kind of operating on that wavelength, and I'd say it's as easy as Wi-Fi. Like, we don't see Wi-Fi, but we know it's there. Another one is how we always hear FM on the radio. Well, FM stands for frequency modulation. So, and that's also ironic because some radios are powered by crystals, which give off energy. You can either attach crystals onto certain dolls and stuff like that. So it really depends on how detailed you really want to go into creating your fetish doll. But it kind of just reminds me, honestly, back when, just being a kid and having my own toys, I kind of brought them to life. Kind of forget that we do magical things. Growing up as kids, not knowing them, even like the simplest things like blowing, like divination as kids that we didn't know. We just thought that, you just did as a kid, but just, like making a wish off of a dandelion. That's, like divination. And, like making wishes thing. Like, I thought that I had a lot of dragon toys, a lot of them. I still love dragons to this day, but I thought they were alive. Like, and I felt the spirit, and I feel like even though still I do work with the dragon energy still, I really felt like I was, like a part of like this. Even as children have a different, I feel like as adults we still need to tap into that more of that childlike energy of being free and having your mind open to anything. And I feel like that's what children are able to see spirits more, because those parts of their brain have not closed off yet. They just see things differently in vibrations. Children see things in vibrations very differently. And I kind of just remember that, as a kid. So it's just like with working with fetish dolls, it kind of brings that back a little bit, where it's like, okay, this is something, knowing that it's more so of responsibility now, because you're carrying it around with you, you're working with it, and it's like a toy, if you, or like a juju, as they say in French, or like a juju doll. Hollywood has definitely done a number on every spiritual category as far as like portrayal. They're getting better at interpretation. Netflix, I feel like, this is just me saying, because I do feel like they put a lot of information in movies, but usually if you're aware of what they're doing in the film, you can, you know, like differentiate between what feels real in your research from what's just made up for entertainment. So I didn't even mention there's a full moon tonight. So yes, yesterday was the pink moon. So happy full moon as well, everyone. I would say get into working with fetish dolls. It's something that's very personal. It's something that is, you know, very creating. You can create your own doll from scratch if you really, really wanted to. It's best to do it that way. I have been, you know, wrong and bought a few of these myself. Like I have this one here that I bought and this one here. But don't, that does not mean that it does not have any power to it. I actually opened some of them up. One over the course of years of having them, I've been having these dolls for a while. They're pretty old, but that's a good thing. Actually, it's the same with tarot cards. I feel like the age makes it better. And actually, a lot of things in magic, a lot of things with age makes it better. The oils as they sit, when you make oils, I feel like some oils have a better outcome when you let them sit for a while. So also on the same note as fetish dolls, we're gonna go into juju bags or mojo bags, because I kind of feel like they kind of work hand in hand a little bit in a way. So a mojo bag will be animal parts, vegetables, herbs, minerals, combined, mashed into one, awoken, and walking with you as well. Just like the surrogate of your voodoo doll. So it's kind of the same thing. Hence why I was like, let me just bring it in as well. So spirit pouch, that is something that also needs to be fed. You can put perfume in it. You can put oils on it, well, within it, if you can open it up again. Because I feel like knots are really important when it comes to dolls and mojo bags. Like, notice this too, that when I wear like macrame or the crystal necklaces, I get less evil energy. So the evil eye or evil energy, they hate knots. So anything that has a knot in it is great to have in your magical practice. Put anything that you want in here. You can put, you know, usually this is something that I carry walking on my day-to-day out and about, because this is my protection. This is my mojo bag. This is something that the like things that I have put in there that are, it is for your protection, working with your mojo bag and your fetish doll. So very important information that I think is not talked about. If you have if you're a healer out there, if you're ever doing any practicing with a doll for someone else, like if you're doing like a love spell or whatever, or a pairing of anything like that on that love and on the general, you never ever, and it goes out for anyone too, you do not ever poke the heart area or the belly button area. That is very dangerous to do that. So you want to be very mindful of where you're sticking needles into your doll, because those two locations can be very harmful for yourself. So anyone that you are doing a practice on. Well, there are a lot of different ways that a lot of cultures used, or like well, as far as like material go, there are clay fetishes. There are fetishes made out of monkey hair. There are fetishes made out of actual hair. They're very personal, and it is very, I feel like a way that it's just so expressive. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. There are many more videos that I'm going to do on spirituality and how to work with your tools. I feel like, you know, a lot of us either have a lot of things and don't know what to work with, or a lot of us have nothing and want to find something to work with but don't know exactly what it is. These videos kind of feel like maybe could help people. So make sure you guys are sharing this video. If you have any more videos on crystals that you want me to do, link them down below, and I'll make sure that I'll do my best to make it happen. And I will link my Instagram information down below as well if you want to follow me on Instagram as well, because I do post on Instagram a lot. I will be back soon with another video. Most likely going to be on sound healing. I do feel like sound healing is very important. It just clears the air, clears the space, the air element too. Well, I'm a Scorpio with a double Aquarius, so water and air. So, yes, make sure you guys are subscribed. Turn on that notification bell if you guys haven't. Make sure that you guys are cleansing yourselves spiritually and burning your sage. Make sure you guys are drinking your ginger. And you guys are staying, safe and within the confines of loved ones. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys.